Pat McGrew was traveling, so we recorded our session. Your power is knowledge. And knowledge is one of the most powerful tools in your career arsenal. It gives you clarity, confidence, and the ability to make informed decisions that move your career forward on your own terms. Your career doesn't happen to you, you make it happen. So, starting January 1st, 2026, as I mentioned in the opening, every Girls Who Print member will have access to the Print University, an on demand learning platform that supports your knowledge and skill growth. No permission is needed. No waiting for someone to offer training. You can choose what you want to learn, how you want to learn, when you want to learn, and where you want to learn, as long as you have a device. So, whether you're just getting started in print or you want to expand what you know, there's an opportunity to strengthen your voice, your skill, and build your empire. Pat McGrew is a marketing and print communication consultant, analyst, speaker, author, journalist, and award winning educator with over 3 decades in the print and customer communication field. She is the managing director of the McGrew Group, the managing director of Girls Who Print, and the co founder of the Print University, which is the hat that she is wearing today. Pat, first of all, thank you so much for joining us on Girls Who Print Day, and happy Girls Who Print Day to our first Girly Award winner.
Hey,
Yay!
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I wish I could be with you live. I'm sorry that I'm here with you, sort of on tape, as they say in the business. But things didn't work out in my travel schedule, but I wouldn't miss the opportunity for the world. So thanks so much for having me.
We could not have a Girls Who Print Day without Pat McGrew, so I thank you for making the time for this recording. So, we are talking about the Print University, which, as I mentioned, you are the co founder of with Ryan Maccabee. Can you share how the Print University works and what is offered there?
Sure. So the Print University was designed to be, in the beginning, entry level print information. If you think about here where we are here in 2025, and actually when we started building it in 2020, this was true as well. We have a lot of new people coming into the industry, but unlike decades ago, where you might have come in through a vocational school or an apprenticeship program, or you might have had access to graphic arts classes in your high school, you might have gone to a community college to get some certification. Those programs are few and far between these days. And yet, we as an industry need new people. We need people to be excited about print. We need them to be excited about everything from selling print to being customer service reps to being pre-press engineers to being workflow analysts to being designers for print to being fixers of those designs for print. We need a lot of people. Print is not going away. It's only growing. The segments just keep expanding. So what do we do? How do we educate people? Well, even for printing companies that want to educate their people, there wasn't a really good place to go. You could say, gee, if you can find a class at the local community college, cool, we'll pay for it. But even that was a little tricky because you might not have one near you. You might not have that available to you. And while there are some online learning outposts, the truth is a lot of them are very expensive. So we started to look for ways that we could provide some of that an entry level education. And what we mean by entry level, what do the words mean? If you're new coming into the industry with no experience, how do you know what imposition is? How do you know that ganging and nesting is not what we do around the coffee cooler and the cooler, right? I mean, how do you know what simple things like, what's the difference between perfecting and duplexing and what are they anyway? Right? The just basic things, understanding color and color differences, understanding what different kinds of print products are called and what the pieces of those products are called. Yeah, you know what a folio is? Unless you've had some experience with book manufacturing, you probably don't know what a folio is. Or you have some idea that it might be something totally different than what it really is. So that was our goal. We sat back. It was the Print University originated as our COVID project. And it was based on years of us trying to pitch this to our former employer, trying to convince them. We knew there was a need because we were being asked for it all the time, but the company felt that the investment would be too high, and they had visions of selling it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that was not what we were talking about. We wanted to democratize the access to that education. So the Print University is a set of podcast length episodes, and they come in video format. And there's a transcript for people who need to read while they're watching, because we know a lot of people learn better that way. You can also just listen to it if you learn better that way. And we license this out to universities, to vendors, to printing associations to make available to all their members and their constituencies. And the goal is to make it available through as many channels as possible, which is why Girls Who Print is a natural channel for us, because it's, again, getting out, getting as much information out as we can. We also realize that not everybody's a member of an association. And so we also do make it available through the printuniversity.com website for $75 a month. But as a Girls Who Print member, and we know you are all Girls Who Print members, and if you're not, you're going to be pretty quickly, you will have access to these courses. So how do you sell? You know, what are the words to use if you want to take a sales position in a wide format shop? What are the words you need to know if you're going to be selling in a shop that does book printing, or does transaction printing, or does direct mail printing? What the heck is variable data anyway? What's the difference between digital printing and analog printing, right? So things that look like copy machines versus things that look like giant industrial machines, right? What's the difference between inkjet and toner? Because you can't be in the print industry 4 seconds without that issue coming up. So that's all the things we're trying to cover. It's a smattering of everything. But now we're up to over 90 episodes. So we've gone a little bit beyond what are just the basics. And now you can also learn how to write an email, because our association started to realize that many people coming in to the print shops didn't understand how to work in business, right? They'd never had a job before. Or if they had, it was, flipping hamburgers or doing hot dogs, right? I mean, it was some food-based thing. So the other thing that we started adding in at the request of our associations was how to talk to your manager, right? How to become an employee, how to learn to communicate within the confines of a print shop, figuring out who's who, what an organizational structure looks like, what the goal of a print shop is. It is to make money, and to make money and margin, and and explaining that it's that profit margin that allows them to pay your salary, right? So trying to explain the basics of business that might not have ever dawned on someone that they needed to know. So we try to give all those basics. And we're also trying to provide education to print shop owners. So like this year, we were asked to do a little bit of education about how to hire people, right? So we've got a whole episode on how to hire Gen Z. We've got interviews with Gen Z, with students who are in print programs, and people who are hiring them, so that we have that available to us. So, when you say, what is it and what's offered, um, a whole lot is offered, and it's down to you as someone who has access to it to figure out what your path need to be. But we try to help you there too, because we do have these sort of what we'll call course plans, depending on what kind of role you're looking at, that will help you navigate a first pass through. And the cool thing is you can come back over and over and over again. It's not like you watch it once and you can never watch it again. You can watch these things as often as you want. You can read the transcripts as often as you want, and keep building your knowledge, because it might be you watch an episode and you think you understand it, but then, a few months later, somebody asks you a question, you go, wait, I remember I heard this somewhere. Where did I hear? Go back, watch the episode again, and kind of refresh your knowledge. So while we target it to people who are new to the industry, Deb, The truth is that maybe you've been in the industry for 20 years, but your business is starting to expand into areas that are new to your company. We've had a lot of direct mailers expanding into wide format, a lot of wide format people expanding into apparel, a lot of apparel people expanding into direct mail. I mean, it's going in every direction. Maybe you don't know those words. Maybe you don't know the jargon that's used to sell those kinds of products. We got you covered.
Your courses are not just for people entering the industry, they're also for people who want to move up the ranks, correct?
That's absolutely true because one of the things that we know is that when we come into a new job, very often we're specifically onboarded to that job, right? And one of the things that the Gen Z kids told us, and we've heard this a lot, is that what they're really looking for is like a week of shadowing everybody in the plant so they kind of understand how everything comes together. They're happy to do the job you hired them for, but they'd like to know how it relates, what comes before it, what comes after it. So, one of the things that we started to do at the request of our associations was to make sure that we talked about things that were like, what can I do that isn't a technical job, right? So we've got a whole set of careers outside the print shop, right? We've got like print buying jobs, right? Maybe you think that being a print buyer would be really cool, and it can be a really cool job. Deb, can it not be a really cool job?
It could be the coolest job in the world.
It can be. And so, because of that, we wanted to make sure that we talked about things that print buyers might want to know. We wanted to talk about how to communicate to people who are older than you, right? And if you are mid-career, you've got both problems. You need to figure out how to talk to the folks who are coming in behind you, and you need to still be able to talk to management who may be a generation ahead of you. So you are living in a world where you have to think in all languages. You have to think in the newcomer language, the mid-career language, and the what you're striving for language. And to be fair, in the print industry, there is lots of room for individual contributors who become experts at a thing. And they might be a technical expert, a pre-press expert, but they might be a soft skill expert. They might be that customer service rep that every salesperson wants to work with because they're the ones who know exactly how to get an unhappy customer happy. They're the ones who understand how to extract information out of a customer who doesn't know how to talk to a printer about what they're trying to buy, right? Because those people exist. So there's room for individual contributors everywhere. But if you're in the middle of your career, the things you might want to know might be, how to write a job description because you've been asked to hire the next person in your department and you've never written a job description before. So we've got one on how to write a job description. We've got maybe you occasionally, now that you're mid-career, you're being asked to give presentations to people and no one ever taught you how to do that. We've got a module on the things that make a good presentation, right? And none of these modules are going to turn you into experts, but they're going to give you that first cut of the things you need to know, the things you need to look for. And over time, we'll add more of the modules that will be the follow-on modules to help you continue to grow all the way through retirement, if that's what you want to do. But for right now, if no matter where you are on your print career journey, we've got a module in there that's going to help you do your job better and give you some more skills because the skills you develop are your toolkit. And the more skills we can help you develop, the further your career can go.
If somebody wants to move from completing tasks to leading projects and making decisions, how can they use the Print University to advance their position in the org chart beyond soft skills?
So what they're going to want to do then is also look at some of our more technical courses. And we've got them divided into packets. So like we've got a commercial print course list, right? That's go through these courses because we're going to do a crawl, walk, run approach through commercial print. Here's what it kind of is. Here's kind of how it behaves, but here are the technical pieces of understanding commercial print. It's a little bit about how color works, what color management tools do, what pre-press tools do, what the heck is pre-flighting anyway, and why should you care? How can I make my press go faster? Things like that. Now, you might work in an implant, right? You might be working in an implant that's kind of a fairly contained four-wall environment, but you still have things, you have a career path that you might have your eye on. We've got a set of modules you can go through for an implant. Implants are a little bit harder because an implant serves the needs typically of a campus environment, whether it's an educational campus environment or a corporate campus environment. So an awful lot of the additional skills you'll want to be picking up have to do with the nature of who you're serving. So educational printing needs are different from corporate printing needs as a rule. The way the jobs come in may be different. The level of knowledge of the people who are bringing the jobs to you is going to be different. And so we have to teach you how to be Sherlock Holmes,
Yeah.
right? You've got to try and dig out what the person who is asking for the print is really asking for versus what they might have sent in on an email, which is still the primary way jobs come into a print shop, or what their biases of how they thought something actually happened. Part of the skill environment there is also how to diffuse people who are mad at you because they don't think you understand what they're saying. So we try and help with that. We talk about working in sign and display graphics, right? There's a course pack for that. There's a course pack for transaction printing. And you might think that transaction printing is dead, but I promise you, based on the mailbox that I've emptied this morning, transaction mail is alive and well because even though you might pay your bills online or you might look at your bills on your phone, there is a lot of communication from corporations you do business with, brands you do business with, that comes in the mail because by law it has to. And there's still a lot of work in transaction print, and those people are looking for people to work for them too. So if you can understand the language and the security and compliance, right? Those are two words not a lot of people are familiar with. And understanding those things, we've got a course pack. We've got a course pack for direct mail. So I think, Deb, what I would recommend to everybody is whatever segment you're currently working in, look at that course pack because it's the list of modules. Start there. But then as you say, well, I might really enjoy working in a sign and display shop and I'm currently in direct mail, go look at that course pack because we'll give you the words to use so that when you go interview for a job, or even if it's an internal transfer, you'll know the right words to say that will let the people you're talking to know that you've already done a little bit of homework and you know what you're asking for.
In the introduction that I'm giving, which is not on this video, I mentioned that it's empowering to have access to the print university. No permission is needed from anybody. No waiting for somebody to offer you training. You can choose what you want to learn and when you want to learn it and how you want to absorb it. Right. So part of the reason why I wanted to it bring the print university to girls who print is honestly from the story you told at the last girls who print event where you were a journalist and you wanted to be a software developer, so you learned everything you possibly could about it, went to an event and just started talking to people as if you were a software developer, and nobody questioned, is she a software developer, because you were able to speak the jargon and understood what they were saying. And that is so powerful. So from your experience in the industry, how does having this knowledge, independent of any employer, actually shift the balance of power in someone's career, and why does that matter?
Words are powerful. Having the right words is even more powerful. Having words that are relevant to the career path you're trying to forge for yourself is a superpower. So it's your investment. Think of the print university as your investment in yourself and the career path you are trying to forge. Because no matter where you are in the print industry, it may not be where you want to stay. You may have been to a show, you may have had a conversation, you may have listened to a Girls Who Print event or podcast or webinar where you go, wow, that would be cool. I wish I knew how to do that. We got modules for you. Learn the words, learn the techniques, learn the technologies that are relevant to the career path you are looking for. If you want to be a print buyer, right? The things you want to know are, what do people buy? What kind of products are out there that can be bought, right? And that's true whether you're talking about commercially printed, movie posters, sign wraps, sign and building wraps, vehicle wraps, right? Think about all the printing, tags that are on grocery store shelves, pull-up posters at events, peril, right? All of these things have their own jargon. Learn the words for where you're trying to go because your words empower you. The story I was telling at that event, I come from journalism. I found myself running a tech writing program inside of a software developer. So I had to get real smart real fast. And then I ended up in a series of conferences where I was being asked to talk about how to prepare for the kind of software the company I was working for was selling, right? Yeah, we get that there's training for the software, but what do I need to know before that happens? So that's where I developed my expertise. What do you need to know before the next thing happens? And that is the fastest way to be recognized a subject matter expert. We have the term SME, subject matter expert. The fastest way to become a subject matter expert is to do a combination of things, and it's crawl, walk, run. You'll hear me say that a lot throughout my life because it's always that way. Get the words. The words are your foundation. Then learn how the words work with each other. Learn how they interact. What does imposition mean in the context of doing book printing or direct mail? How is it different from ganging and nesting? Because honestly, they're almost the same thing, right? What do I need to know? What words do I need to know for going deeper into sign and display, deeper into book printing, book manufacturing, deeper into commercial? What do I need to know about color? Because you always need to know something about color. Spend some time understanding color. RGB color, what's on your screen versus, right, printed color, right? CYMK color. Learn all these things. When you learn all those things, then offer yourself as a speaker. Lunch and learns in your company can be a powerful way to lift your visibility in your company. And the way you have something to talk about at a lunch and learn, even if your company doesn't currently do them, you can suggest that you do, is take the material from the print university. The transcripts are there. Pull two or three of them together, and you'll find 15 or 20 minutes of talk, and then just get everybody talking. You become the leader and you learn how to lead by doing. Race car drivers learn that no matter how cute it is to drive a car and put your foot on the gas pedal, nothing prepares you for a race like a race, like being in the seat. We call it seat time. And that's what you need, seat time. You get seat time, you will become the subject matter expert.
Pat, thank you so much. Ryan, thank you so much for your partnership with Girls Who Print. Details about enrollment and how to access the Print University are coming soon. And we definitely suggest that you join Who Print as a member so you can access all of this education for free. Join our mailing list, join the Girls Who Print Global LinkedIn group to stay up to date on everything. We have a variety of value packed sponsorship packages for companies, organizations, and a very affordable sponsorship package for printers. You can find me or Kelly Malazzi to discuss. Pat, thank you so much. Crawl, walk, run is in my vernacular too. I have passed it along for you. So thank you for bringing this education and this empowerment to the Girls Who Print community. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure.